actor has done a lot of issue-based theatre performances, theatre projects, and these normally come about in two different ways. One way is an individual or a group might approach actor asking to create a theatre piece about a particular issue that they feel passionate about. Or it might be that it's a group that we're working with that make a collective decision that there's a particular issue that they would like to look at and create a theatre piece about. So one of these projects was a play called Yusuf Can't Talk, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this project. The theatre project, Yusuf Can't Talk, started because a woman, Noura Arbi, she came to see a performance that we had here at ACTA by a group of smiling women, and she was in the audience, and after the show she approached ACTA and said, I would really like to create a theatre piece about an issue that I am incredibly passionate about. And we were very excited to be approached by Noura and to start together to work on this project. So Noura is from the Somali community, and she has a son with autism, and she wanted to create a theatre piece which looked at the stigma and the difficulties that she faced as a Somali woman with a son with autism.
Going out was a real problem for us. Yusuf didn't understand how to behave in social places and used to hit people. Now he understands more, and we are able to go out and do things outside just like any other family.
So working with Noura and a group of women that Noura already knew, who were all from the Somali community and all had children with autism. Together, myself and Rosalie, one of the other directors from ACTA, we went to meet these women and started talking about what the play, what the performance could look like. But most importantly, we started with what is it you want to say to an audience, and who is the audience you want to share this issue with. So having made these discussions and talked about this, we then started looking at scenes and memories that the women talked about that were really significant moments in their journey of discovering that their child was autistic, and then the difficulties they then faced.
I never thought Yusuf would say Mum. The very first time he said Mum still brings me so much joy. It's like hearing music in my ears. I'm so pleased how far he came. But for us, there are a number of barriers. There's stigma barriers, there's community barriers, and there's a language barriers. It is our life, and there's nothing we can do about it. This is why moments like this are so very special.
So the women then highlighted particular moments that have been difficult for them, or significant moments, and one of these was talking to the doctor, and the doctor first diagnosing their child. And what we encouraged the women to do was to just get up and perform these scenes, having talked about them, not worrying about who was playing who or whose story it was, that they shared the stories, and together they just created the scenes. And we worked with about 20 different women over the weeks, creating these different scenes, looking at these significant moments, the women sharing their memories, sharing their difficulties. We had scenes where they were trying to talk to their parents about their children, and their parents still finding it so difficult to come to terms with the diagnoses, especially because of the stigma that they were experiencing within the community.
It's fine. He's a healthy boy. He eats well, he sleeps well. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. I told him, Mum, that he's really healthy and he eats well, but she didn't listen. She said it's a lifelong disability, which really, really upset me.
No, it's fine. Don't listen to these doctors. Let him play until he's 7. Yusuf's only 3.
Every time I speak to my mum, it gives me comfort. But every day, I struggle, and it's so difficult to cope on my own. Little things that people take for granted. It's just so difficult. I'm so worried about Yusuf.
As the project developed, there were lots of decisions that we had to make. One of them was, do any of the children of the women, are they in the play? Are they performing with them? And we talked a lot about how difficult that might be, but how important it was for them also to be seen, because this is their story as well as their parents' story. And so a collective decision was made to show the children on video footage and show them achieving some of the wonderful things that they were able to achieve.
In the house on that good day.
And then other decisions were made about who was actually going to perform the piece, the scenes that we'd created, the scenario that we'd created collectively together, who was actually going to perform. And a lot of the women didn't feel comfortable about performing. A lot of them didn't feel that they wanted to be known in the community as A, having children with autism, and B, being on stage. They weren't necessarily that comfortable. So even though we'd worked with 20 women in the project altogether, with them sharing their stories and helping devise and create the scenes, we finished with a small cast of 5 women who told all of the 20 women's story, not just their own stories. It was very much a collective piece, but there was 4 women who performed it at the end. And as we rehearsed these scenes and created the play, lots of the other women still came to the rehearsal so that they could continue to share their stories and inputs into the scenes, into the play, so that they felt it was a true and honest account of their experiences. So having worked with the women for about 3 months, creating the piece, we then had another sort of 12-week, 3-month rehearsal process, and we then finished with the play Yusuf Can't Talk, which we performed to audiences in Bristol. We targeted an audience of health professionals, educators, people and people from the Somali community, to really look at the issues and the difficulties that these women and their families faced, to really spread the word out there of what their lives were like. And we were fortunate enough for the project to be developed on from that, and we were able to tour the show to conferences, to other theatres, and even to Holland.